Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, I want to talk about all the things that people are having problems with in my team right now. The things that are not what I want to see out of my team and that I think are starting to make people's opinion on this game shift significantly. I've seen a lot, and I mean a lot, of negativity about my team on Twitter over the past few days. I think some people are blowing it a little bit out of proportion. I will say that, and I think that's a fair point to make. But at the same time, I do think there are very, very valid points that are being made by a lot of people on Twitter that are complaints and legitimate problems with this game right now that we are really, really going to need to, I think, find solutions for or change, or hopefully 2K will do, because we can't really do anything about it. I'm just a content creator, but I definitely think that 2K needs to do a better job with several things, and we need to talk about several things that need to be improved if this year's My Team is going to turn into a great game, because I do think this game actually has potential to be a very good game. The gameplay is not terrible. Algo will always be a problem, and it seems like it can be a major problem in here at times, but the actual gameplay, when it's playing as it should, seems to be very, very good. The rewards are actually decent, at least the top tier rewards, but there are some things that could be improved with the rewards. But the content has been good at times. It started off very well. I feel like it's definitely faltered over the past week, which is disappointing. And I think there's potential with this game, but I think right now there are some really significant issues that are taking away from the potential that this game really has. So without further ado, I guess let's hop right into it. The first thing I want to start with is something that I've already talked about and I made a video about earlier this year. The biggest problem that I have right now with this game is the auction house tax. It's ridiculous. Come on, 2K. Do better. The auction house tax being 60% when I sell a card back is absolutely ridiculous. At most, the auction house tax, in my opinion, should be 20 to 25%. 10% was a very reasonable amount in previous years with the auction house. I know it's the player market now, and I keep saying auction house, but the player market tax being at 60% right now is absolutely absurd. Like, I don't think y'all understand how ridiculous. I mean, maybe a lot of people do understand, but I think it's just absurd that 60% of your MT is being lost when you go to sell a card back. And I think it should be closer to 25% or less, hopefully. And I think that would make a huge difference immediately and make people feel a lot more comfortable playing this game, no money spent, because you're getting rewarded when you sell cards back. And I think it's too much. I understand 2K wants to make money, and they are a business, and I don't have a problem with them trying to make money because they are a business. And people who expect the game to be incredibly no money spent, I don't totally understand. You're not going to get every single elite card in the game being no money spent unless you put a ridiculous amount of time in, and I'm not sure you should, because I think there should be rewards to being able to spend the money. But I mean, they are a business, but at the same time, the auction house tax is ridiculous, and it's just not rewarding, and that's a huge problem. Another thing that is a big problem, the price drops that they implemented. The cards going down by 7% in price, sorry, 5% in price, and with this went down 7K, you lost like 3.5 or something thousand MT on these ruby values. These cards went down in value by 5%, and even if these are weekly updates, 5% updates to these guys' prices will keep these cards significantly more expensive than they should be for months, and it will never make these cards drop in value the way that I truly believe that they should be dropping. I think it should be a 20% drop, and then 3 weeks later, maybe a 25% drop, and then 3 weeks later another 25% drop is what we should really be looking at, I feel like, because these drops are just, Ancient Boga should not be 133,000 MT, man. He just shouldn't. And even good amethysts, like, there aren't really great amethysts in these 2K day collections, to be fair, but I feel like when the Mirage packs drop in price in a week or so, these cards should be going down significantly. D-Rose should go from 140K to 110,000. Like, we should be getting significant price drops with these cards, and I think a 5% price drop is absolutely ridiculous. So that's something that's a pretty decent issue as well, and I would love to see addressed. I'm hoping they're at least weekly price drops. If it's weekly 5% price drops, that's better than 5% every 3 weeks. If it's 5% every 3 weeks, I think Andrew Bogut is expected to be over 100,000 MT until like February. So that would be absurd. But I guess we'll see. I don't know entirely what's going to happen with that, but that's a problem as well. Another problem that I have, honestly, is that so many of the best cards in the game are gated behind lock-ins. On the first day of the game, it was obviously Clay, Chris Webber, Jason Tatum, who were gated behind lock-ins. And we have all these legendary path lock-ins. T-Mac is a lock-in. Obviously, Shaq is the reward for locking in all the legendary path stuff. Sean Kemp is a lock-in. Draymond is a lock-in. Steph is, well, Draymond's free, but Steph is a lock-in. At least T-Mac was available in packs, as with the 2K day park cards. Steph wasn't even available to pull in packs, I don't believe. I think you had to complete the collection for him. So I don't love that. I feel like there's too many the best cards in the game being gated behind lock-ins right now. I just think it takes away, especially when the sets aren't that great. Like the Legendary Path set at least was very rewarding in that it gave you cards like Damian Lillard and Devin Booker and Grant Hill and Ben Wallace who can be used at an elite level. They're still competitive level cards. I still run D-Book in my squad, Grant Hill sometimes. A lot of those other cards are being run in a lot of people's squads. So there was that. The Mirage set, T-Mac, but also came with Scottie Pippen, Derrick Rose, several good rubies like Korver and Karl Malone. Legitimately another very good set. This cooking set, I mean, Hakeem is a good inside, but he's not incredible. Zion is okay. Latrell Sprewell is a decent card. There's some good budget cards, but none of these cards are like jump off the page at you as making the best team in the game, being elite level cards. I don't like that. And I don't like that they're gatekeeping this many of the top cards in the game, especially the like Shaq and Steph are the two biggest names and biggest cards that have dropped this year so far. And they've been gate kept behind very expensive lock-ins. Lock-ins that if you were going to buy them, it would cost like $70 and like $150, which I do not love at all. I gotta say, I'm not a fan of that change. I would like to see less lock-ins, and if you're gonna do lock-ins, at least make sure the sets for the lock-ins are rewarding, and make sure that the cards are still pullable in packs. I think you should be able to pull the lock-in reward. I think that's cool. I like that they started off the year with doing that with T-Mac and the 2K Day cards, and I would like to see that continue. I think the ability to pull the lock-in card, even if it's a small chance in packs, should be another thing. There should just be more ways to get these types of cards, because I don't love the fact that cards are gate-kept in lock-ins, because that makes a lot of the more desirable names really, really hard and really, really expensive to get at times, unless you are grinding a lot to get that type of MT. The final thing that I do want to talk about in this video is the AI. The CPU in this game I do think is a bit overpowered, especially in offline game modes. If you are an elite level player, if you play online, you are a very good player, you probably will not struggle with it much outside of all-time domination, but a large percentage of the player base and a large percentage of the people who watch my videos are not elite level players. That's fine. We play the game to have fun at the end of the day. That is why I'm assuming the vast majority of y'all play my team is to have fun as an escape from work or school or whatever else is going on in your life. It shouldn't be hard, in my opinion, to play against the offline CPU and grind for rewards and improve your team. I don't think, I mean, it should be semi-hard. I think it's too hard right now. I think scoring on the CPU can be very, very challenging, especially on higher difficulties, unless you are very good at the game or know what to do in terms of running three-point plays and using backdoors and effectively, and even that type of stuff requires a certain amount of skill and knowledge about the game to be able to use and take advantage of. So, at least in my opinion, I just think that the AI right now is a little bit too good. Honestly, even the online AI, the CPU online is far better on ball right now than a on ball actual manual person defender, in my opinion. I think the CPU is just really, really good right now, both online and offline. And I think that is probably not great because it rewards online. It rewards people for not playing defense themselves unless you're playing against an elite player. And even then, if the AI is going your way, if the algo's going your way, sometimes it's literally impossible to get an elite AI defender like a Jason Kidd or a Scottie Pippen or a lock, whoever the lock may be, into screens and stuff. You like just can't score because sometimes the AIs will literally be Jesus on the defensive end of the court online. And it's just, it takes away a certain amount of skill aspect of the game. I think if the AI is that juiced, I think the AI should be okay defensively. I don't think they should be idiots. I think they should play smart. I don't think they should be leaving dudes wide open doing stupid stuff, but I don't think they should be playing defense at an absolutely godly elite level. I think it should take more skill to play pick and roll defense and play AI. And honestly, I don't think the AI should be as good offline either, because offline isn't meant to be a hard experience. It's meant to be a fun, enjoyable, chill gaming experience for people to grind out rewards and get stuff done. And I don't think that's what offline is right now, especially all-time domination. Seen a lot of complaints about that as well. So I don't love that. I don't expect that will change. And honestly, offline gameplay will get easier as the year progresses, as we get better cards with faster releases and better animations, and it will get easier. So I don't think that is a huge issue, but it is an issue. I put out a tweet this morning about this video, and it is an issue that a lot of people mentioned, like 4 or 5 different people mentioned the CPU AI and the problems they are having with that. So I wanted to address that as well and just give my take on that. With that being said, I think that's all that I really want to address in today's video. But just to recap, the auction house tax is terrible. Way too many cards are kept behind lock-ins. The price drops of 5%. If that's every 3 weeks, that's absurd. If that's every week, I still think it's pretty absurd. Would love to see something about that changed as well. And then the AI and CPU are problems as well. One other thing I guess I can mention, where is the MyTEAM playbook? What happened with that? that was great. It was really, really nice for 2K to be communicating with us and keeping us updated with what was coming this week, even if they weren't going to give us information specifics. Like they were teasing something, like when they teased the cooking stuff coming. I'm fine with that. They don't have to give us all the specifics, but it was nice to have that communication with 2K, and the fact that that seems to already be gone is really disappointing. The lack of daily content, well, just the mediocre content last week, where they basically stretched the cooking collection across the whole week, and that's basically just a Friday drop, honestly, and they stretched that across the whole week. The free content was good. Fast break, I mean, Draymond is good and Clyde is good as well. Those cards in that set besides those two guys are not good though, so it wasn't amazing. And then this week we don't get anything on Monday, and we just have had no communication from 2K over the past several days, over a week now. Would really like to see some more stuff coming with that as well. So that's another thing I'd like to mention. I'm a little bit worried about the lack of communication and lack of content, that we might be going down a dark path with this mode. I don't know. I'm a little worried, man. I was really pretty optimistic, but I'm starting to get more and more worried as there's lack of communication and a lack of good content coming. And then there are obviously these in-game problems that are kind of taken away from the gaming experience as well. So I just wanted to give my thoughts on a game that I actually do believe has potential. I am not Doomsday MyTEAM. Like some people are. DBG is full on Doomsday MyTEAM right now, and more power to him. I understand that that is his perspective, and I understand he does not enjoy making MyTEAM content right now, but I don't think it's really Doomsday. I just think things need to change, because if they don't change, it's going to tarnish the game this year significantly, and I do think it's going to drive a lot of the players away from the mode, when in reality I do believe this has a lot of potential. But video's gone on long enough. We're over 11 minutes now. I hope y'all did enjoy the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon, and I appreciate y'all. Peace.